Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's about 7 a.m. So it's time for my morning video. Now, I missed yesterday because I had responsibilities as a father. I had kids and school and testing, and I didn't realize that on Friday when I was talking about doing a Monday video. And yeah, yesterday was way too busy, never had a chance. So, guess you get shorted a video this week. Now, I had hoped to be doing the Retroid Classic video today, but that never showed up. We'll see how that works out. So, we're going to go ahead and get into this one. And yeah, I am doing good, if you are asking. I'm kidding. Anyway, so before I jump into some stuff on this and another handheld I have with me, let's talk about random things going on in the handheld community here, or let's see here. So we'll start off with a small one. Whole article about how the Super Pocket is going to change. The price is going to be changed here, and this is a nice little title. The Super Pocket Retro Handheld is cheaper than a Switch 2 game, but you'll want to grab one before that potentially changes. Now, if you skim the article, and I'm going to do that for you because this article's fucking dumb, tells you that they're about $60 right now. You can grab some of the new stuff or different ones for about $56, but this price could potentially spike 10%. Yay. Okay, so now that we talked about something we don't give a shit about, Retroid Pocket Classic. You guys have probably already seen this, but they've updated their shipping info. This is what they're doing now. They've released, this info that 4PX has paused U.S. shipments starting 4/23, DHL paused shipments starting 4/25. Now it's what, 4/29. So all this is probably different, and it's probably different again. And hold on. Okay, it's probably changed. Okay, it's probably changed again. You get what I'm getting? Okay, it's changed again. Anyway. So they said they have secured a new shipping vendor to better serve the U.S. Now, this will be a trial period from 4/25 to 5/15. Now, this is what I was talking about when this tariff thing kicked off. I was telling people, don't panic. Wait. Don't go to their website and rush order some things. When all these other places skyrocket their prices, especially those middlemen websites, Mech DIY, Keep Retro, Go Game Geek, their prices are gonna skyrocket. They have to, you know what I mean? Even though they're not really eating any cost, you order through them, and all they do is put the order in on the fucking website like you would, more or less. That's not the exact, flow, but that's more or less what's happening, and you're giving them a cut as a middleman. Now, some of them also do have discount codes from YouTubers that could potentially make the handhelds cheaper than if you went to the manufacturer website. And that's the only reason I use those sites. So, moving on. Let's see. They said product prices will not increase during this time. We also elected to pay the U.S. tariff fees on behalf of the customer. Shipping cost, however, will increase by $20. And that's U.S. orders only. Now, like I said, this is what I was saying. If we just relax, ride it out. Don't order, sit back, go order from other people. Go order off of eBay, keep it in the country. Order off Mercari, keep it in the country. I know that there's a lot of people on my channel that are not from the U.S., so this news doesn't really affect you. Okay? But to those in the U.S., this is what I was talking about. If we sit here and wait, if we just play our position, hold off, and let this happen, these companies like Retroid, Anbernic, ayaneo, all of them We already should have expected this, that they're going to stop shipments to the U.S. We're done. We're not paying that. And these companies won't ship there anymore. Just shut up and wait. Because eventually, they're going to miss those sales. They need the U.S. market. Okay? We do make up a lot of their sales. So, off the bat, they're going to be defensive. We're not going to do this because they don't want to give up a single dollar of profit. Okay? They would rather us eat all that before they gave up a dollar. So by not ordering, now it's getting to the point where it's like, hey, it's actually going to cost us a shitload more if we don't eat some of these fees and get the U.S. market back. Because other companies will. If any of these companies decide they're not doing shit and they're just going to stop shipping to the U.S., they'll lose their market share there. And other companies, like Anbernic, who has a U.S. warehouse, will figure out a way to stock that U.S. warehouse and serve the people here. That way they can capitalize on that market share. So this is more or less between them. Let them fight it out on what they're going to do and how they're going to handle it to cover the fees, the costs, whatever, to keep selling to us here. Okay? Now, since this changes, hourly, I don't like to cover it that much, but I just figured I'd update this part of it. So, and I don't care enough to follow it that closely. When I see an update, I'll read on it, but I'm not following it because I don't feel like watching something that just constantly changes for whatever reason. Fuck it. Moving on. So, Anbernic's been quiet so far this year. They've released the 557 is showing up at big time content creators so they can show it off like every other device in the world. Anbernic has said that they are releasing more handhelds this year. They have said they're going to be releasing a couple. Two will be released in May. A lot of us are assuming that one of these could be the RG34XX-SP. Now, I keep seeing people say it's going to be more than just the 34XX specs in the SP shell. So you'd get a slightly smaller 35XX SP in the 34XX SP. You'd get it more towards that, Game Boy Advanced ratio. Everywhere I read it, everybody says that it's supposed to be more. It's going to be more than what you think. Given this, the fact that it's labeled the 34XX SP puts it in the XX family. If they change that name, then I'll believe there's actual changes to the handheld. But right now, if it's going to remain the RG34XX SP, that's the XX family, that's the H700 line of devices. So, no. It's going to be the 34XX in the 35XX SP shell. Okay? Unless that device name changes, that's exactly what it's going to be. There, of course, they'll probably do some different colors. It's Anbernic. They'll want it to stand out, so they're going to do a couple colors differently, whatever. You might even get some of the same colors. Honestly, I kind of like the green and the red SP, but you already know I have the green 34, so I'm good there. But yeah, that's exactly what we're going to see is the 34 in the SP. As for the rest of the handheld releases, they're talking about 10, at least 7 or 8. 2 will be released in May. This all seems very unsure, so, I guess we'll see. You know how Anbernic does. Sometimes they sit quiet, and then some years you have a new handheld every month. And they got to be real proud of themselves about the XX line. It's well received. We all know it's the same shit being spit out in different sizes and, layouts. And we eat that shit up, though. We love it, right? Same shit looks different. Of course. So, Anbernic, keep doing what you're doing. We know we're stupid. And we're going to keep buying the same shit looking different. We're going to keep buying the same shit because it's in different colors. You know that. So that's why you do the releases the way you do them. but it works. You gotta, you're capitalizing on that market share, so you're not, good move there. Stock your fucking U.S. warehouse, please. All right, moving on. Ayaneo Pocket Ace. Now, I've talked about this in the past. I looked at, the initial stuff when they were talking about the Pocket Ace, and they were being all, kind of cryptic about, like, oh, the Pocket Ace is coming. The Pocket Ace is around the corner. What's it gonna be? It's more of the same shit? Okay. So, I've watched a video on the Pocket Ace. Okay? And the whole time I'm watching the video, I just didn't care. I didn't want to watch the video. I watched it, and I watched it quickly. Kind of jumped 10 seconds here. Oops, double tap the screen, watch it at 2x speed, which is what I do for most things. And you should probably do, well, why not? Put mine at 2 times. Fuck it. Anyway, so I was watching the video, and I was watching a person go through it, and they're like, oh, this is great, and this, and oh my God, this is really cool, and this is awesome, and man, it just looks like more of the same to me. I get there's some small differences, like this little slope right here at the front for your buttons, the tiny little sticks that look like they were pulled directly off of the Pocket Micro. They kind of look odd there. They stick out. Watch them do another version of this with no sticks. I mean, I don't mind this colorway here where it's kind of that tan and then the green buttons, like the shoulder buttons. But of course, this is going to be their retro power color. That's going to be an extra $5,000 because it's a specific color. So, fuck you once again, ayaneo. Oh, I mean, I don't hate ayaneo. I hate the way they conduct themselves business. I hate the way they do business. I hate the way they sell stuff. And I get it's a business. It is that they're trying to make money. So whatever bullshit they got to feed us to make the money, that's what they're going to do. I'm cursed with one of those people that's aware when I'm doing something stupid or I'm buying something stupid. I'm cursed with that. I am aware that it's dumb. I am aware that this is fucking the same shit over and over. And I'm aware that in most cases I like the same shit over and over. That I get excited in the simplicity of knowing something is being shipped to me. I have a new device on the way. It's more exciting in some cases than a fucking actual device. And that's sad, people. And that most of us have that. We're more excited about the prospect of it, or we have a new device on the way. We're fucking really thrilled about that. Once we get it, we're like, oh, this thing is fucking cool, and then we shelf it. Yeah. Be honest with yourself. You absolutely have that problem. Not all of you. Some of you out there, some of you probably that are watching this probably have one, maybe two handhelds, 2 different configurations, or 2 different levels there, and you're content. You don't need shit. You're fine. You have everything you need in those 2. Or maybe you just got one and you're like, I don't get why people do this. This one is perfect for me. And that would be different if you looked at all these handhelds and found the one that was perfect for you. If it's your budget, if it's every game you like to play, it's reliable, high quality. Okay, but that's difficult to do. That's what channels like mine are here for. I don't do like screen captures and editing and all that, because let's be real. I want you to see what it's like to actually have these devices and own it. And if I fumble around with it and hit the wrong button, you should see that happen. You should be aware that that could be an issue. You might accidentally do this yourself. So I don't like editing shit out of my videos. Anyway, back to this bullshit. So I don't mind this. If I didn't own an ayaneo device, I would probably try this. The price feels a little heavy for being essentially the Pocket Evo. Yeah, I mean, pretty close. It's the Pocket Evo just looks like a 2S, or an older anbernic device, like a 350 or a 351 or a 405M. I mean, aside from this sloped little front thing here, which the more I look at it, makes the front look weird. Well, I'm looking at it dead on. It looks weird. It looks like they ran out of plastic for the face and the shell was still too big. And they're like, fuck, what do we do? I'll just fill it in there and we'll make it sloped. So a lot of people said it feels high quality. It's very comfortable. I don't really notice any grips on it. So I don't know how comfortable that shit is. It's a lot smaller than a Steam Deck. Yeah, fucking almost everything is. Don't compare this to it. I mean, come on, guys. Are we not done with this? Are we not done with the Steam Deck yet? We know. We understand it's there. I get it. It's a big, ugly motherfucker. Okay? So I don't care about the Steam Deck. I've had one. Wasn't impressed. Didn't care. Got rid of it. I prefer all my other devices. And if that's all you have is a Steam Deck, don't take what I just said that way. That's my preference. That's how I feel. If you love your Steam Deck, fucking more power to you. If you love your Steam Deck, that's the best device, period. And the best device should be the one that's in your hands and the one you find yourself gaming on. That's the best device for you. Whichever one calls you, whichever one you keep going back to, that's your device. Okay? Now, the Steam Deck will continuously, I mean, if it stays at this price, the Steam Deck will always be a viable option because everything else is constantly going up in price. Okay? But, like I said, I can't get over this one. I don't find anything special about it. I don't think it's worth your time. I don't think it's worth your money. If you have something, in the ballpark of these specs here that can already do all this shit, don't. So take that 340, invest it somewhere, get into the stock market with it. Fuck this. Go buy some crypto, It's not worth it. If I had one in front of me, if one got shipped to me, or I came across somebody getting rid of one for like $50, would I buy it? Yeah. Would I like it? Sure. For retail price and what you're getting, I don't think it's different enough to merit a purchase. I don't think it's worth that money. So, and it also pisses me off when a new device comes out, because it's like most of the creators on here that do this, they'll have a device and they'll be like, this company just lied to you. They told you the wrong specs and we opened it up and this is bullshit and I need to pay for this and they need to do this. And then the next day, a new device from that company shows up at the door. They open it up and they're like, wow, this device is great. I love this company. They're so good. Oh my God, look at the line. Look at the sticks. Look at the screen. Would you just fucking etch-a-sketch that whole thing, huh? You completely forgot. You just wiped it clean. Next day, oh, you're forgiven. Yeah, this ain't that channel. I don't give up that easy. I don't forget that easy. You need to fucking you make mistakes, you make it right with your people. If you don't, it's going to be a while before I start even considering you as a company I like. I can't stand people that do that. Just next day, forget and forgive. Nah, fuck that noise. This isn't like somebody I know in person or somebody I had an argument with, at work or friends or family. I'm polar opposite there. Life's too short to hold a grudge to those people. But for big companies, fuck them, I'll hold a grudge. You know what I mean? I feel like it's the other way for me on that. Fuck you. I can go to another company and get something comparable. So, yep, and here it is. $599. Official retail $700. $700 for the retro power looking one. This shit is not worth $700. You guys are fucking dumb. That is not worth $700. But look at the price jump. I get it's more storage. Like I've said before, this is the bullshit they're doing. It's not just the color. We're also doubling the internal storage. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck your mama. Fuck everything about you. All right. Make this color available here. Okay? Just be upfront and say, we'll give you a 1 terabyte internal and cut this down $50. Make it closer to this. Okay? Instead of, I mean, I get you're stopping at 5, which I still think is too much, way too expensive. You don't need the 16 gig model either, guys. That's always just, you're not going to play anything that fucking needs that on this device. You're just not. And of course, there's going to be someone in the comments goes, oh yeah, motherfucker, guess what? I'm going to play on it, and I need that. There's always some smartass in the comments that like messages like, you know, you could do it this way, or you know, you could do this. Yeah, motherfucker, I know. I love those comments where people message me like I don't know what something means. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I don't think he knows you can like plug it in over here. Now, I'm not going at this person by any means. I said something about wanting the Retroid Pocket dock just to have it home so I can dock my shit. And it was one of those moments where I just kind of stared at the comment and laughed to myself because the person was like, you know, you could just like hook it up to HDMI, right? And if you're watching this, I appreciate the comment, man. And you know what? There's no harm in doing that. Maybe I didn't know, you know what I mean? But yes, I'm very aware that I could do that. I just like the dock for the idea of the dock. Okay, just I don't know, have something like that docked sitting on her, so that way it's kind of a display item and I'm using it. All right, enough with this bullshit. Even though I'm sitting here bashing ayaneo, I'm getting ready to lower the camera and talk about my ayaneo devices. Keep in mind, I don't actually have a grudge against ayaneo. Things went wrong with my DMG. They did the honorable thing. They fixed it. They took care of me. My favorite devices right now are high-end, are ayaneo. Mid-range, my Retroid Pocket 5, even though Retroid can kiss my ass right now. And below that, I find myself playing on my 28XX a bunch. And when I reach for a mid-range handheld, because I'm going to play PS1 or something, I almost always grab an anbernic. My Q is one I gravitate to. Right now, my 28XX that I just got the other day. Why the fuck do I love that so much? That thing is awesome. Like, I put MuOS on it, and I've just been playing the shit out of that. So, I don't know. But right now, I'm just going to talk about what I've been playing. Okay? So, since I've got the DMG back, and oh shit, my battery's dying. Let me grab a little weak charger. I don't think this will do it. This charger. Okay, cool. Move this. Are you going to charge? Yeah, it's going to charge. Okay. I'm scared to use anything bigger on this because I don't want to cook it. But, so lately on this, when I go home, I have been grabbing this one. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why I love it. I love this handheld. This thing is awesome. This is one of my favorite vertical handhelds. Actually, for Game Boy style, I mean, this, for high end, I mean, yeah, this is it. I mean, I like my brick and all that. They're great if I want to play PS1. They're small, they're compact. But I keep gravitating towards this. And I'm skipping Daiji Show right now because I'm just jumping into it. But lately, I've just been sitting here. I'm going to move the camera, guys. Lately, I've just been sitting here playing Final Fantasy X. And really enjoying it. I wanted to play 12, right? But, and I've played 12 a lot. And I remembered having Final Fantasy X when I was younger. I had it for my PS2. I played the shit out of it, get all the way to the last fight, and it would freeze. And I tried over and over and over. I mean, 1,000 times I put the damn thing in, took the disc out, cleaned it, put it in, it had an itty-bitty mark on it, and that was right there. That's the final battle, right? I tried so many times. And I put into work. I had everybody, break damage limit, all that good shit, and was ready for that final battle when I was younger, and it just kept freezing. So when I was looking at this, and I was like, I'm going to play some 12, I realized I keep putting 10 on devices, but I never play it. And it's because of that PTSD. I've never taken another run at it since I was a kid. Now, mind you, games like Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy XII, you've been able to run these decently on older devices. My Retroid Pocket 2 Plus, I played a few hours into Final Fantasy 12 on it, which they're just not that demanding games. You know what I mean? A little tweaks, you know what I mean? Keep it at, you know, what's the resolution? The default. I can't think of the fucking name of it right now. You know what I'm talking about. The standard resolution and all that for the game. You get it. Anyway, yeah, a little tweaking on the 2 Plus, and I was playing Final Fantasy 10 and 12 on it. You're not playing anything else for PS2 era on that fucking thing. It'll explode in your hand. But these aren't very resource-intensive games, realistically. Of course, I always worried when I got to, like, the limit breaks. Is that going to shut the handheld down? And for the 2 Plus, on 12, when you're running through, doing all the missed attacks, that is a little rough on something that old. On all these newer devices, smooth, no problem. So, if you're going to run any PS2 game on handhelds that shouldn't run PS2 very well or don't have the specs for it, you can still get away with Final Fantasy 10 and 12. That's my point. But so I've been enjoying 10 on here a lot. Pay attention. What's it say in the background? Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing on this one. I'm actually going to leave this charging. Hold on, guys. Let me move my desk. Now, on the other side of this, sorry, I'm trying to unplug, bitch. Okay. You already know how I do. I love my Flip DS. I go home at night. This is what I kick it with. I hit the couch, and I love pulling out my Flip DS. So, I'm getting ready. The new season for Diablo 4 is getting ready to start. I decided I want to play it. I played closed beta in season 1, and the game really disappointed me. But Diablo is one of those games like Metal Gear Solid that meant a lot to me growing up. I spent time on it, so I want to love it. So I'm giving the next season a shot. How long? 4 hours, 30 minutes till the next season. And I'm going to be playing it with my son. We're going to get into it together. And that's the noise in the background, though, is my oldest kid trying to finish school and get graduated. He's been slacking on his schoolwork, so now he's got to get up at 5 a.m., come into the office with me, and he gets to sit there and do all his schoolwork before I take him home. That way I know it's getting done. Damn kids. But I say kids, but he's 18. Anyway. So yeah, I've been going home playing this late. Before Diablo 4, I was going home, and I fell back into Dave the Diver and was playing the shit out of that. I'm still going to play it on here and finish it. I really need to get back to Persona 5 badly. It's one of those games that I'm going to forget what the hell I'm doing or how to do something, because Persona 5 is a little involved. There's a lot going on there. And I was really enjoying it. I just got busy. Anytime I find a game I really enjoy, my work and home life gets super busy, and I'm not allowed to play them. Or at least that's how it feels. I'm not allowed to enjoy those. Quick play games, shit that I can pick up and put down and not really get invested in. I'll have all the time in the world to play those. But if I swap over to something that I really love, that's really great and really gets my attention, I get deep and I start, getting into the story, life's going to get busy. I'm not allowed to play it. I've learned this with Final Fantasy 14. I really was enjoying that as an MMO, and I'm not a big MMO player. I got into it every fucking time I pay for a monthly on that. That month is the busiest month of that year. And I've tested this theory like 7 times now. And I've just given up on that. But hopefully it works out well with Diablo 4. I'm really excited to play through that. I'll be playing it at home. I'll be playing it on this. And I love my Flip DS. Now, I will say last night and this morning, this gave me a scare. Last night, I turned it on to start downloading Diablo 4 on this. And it powered on, but the screen didn't come on. And I sat there for a while, like 15 minutes, nothing. So, hard shutdown, boot it back up, same thing. About the 4th time, the screen came on, and I was like, what in the fuck's going on? I swipe up, punch in my pin, and I hear it boot up, and then the screen goes off. And it's still powered on. I started to lose my shit. I powered out, because this is old enough, ayaneo ain't fixing shit on here. So I, hard shut down, close it up. I was like, all right, I'll mess with it tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know, something's got to be going on. So I come in here this morning, power it up, same shit. Somehow, after a couple restarts and a couple hard, fucking forced shutdowns, it finally kicked on. And I said, fuck it, I need to update it because I have automatic updates turned off on any of my Windows handhelds or computers because I would rather wait and let everybody else be the guinea pig and show up at my shop and be like, can you fix my computer? I did a Windows update and it fucked everything up. Yeah, see, I don't play that game. But anyway, so it's powered back on. I did a bunch of updates which forced it to restart, which was, that was a worrisome part for me. I was scared it wasn't going to come on. But it did. I've restarted it 3 or 4 times now, and it's coming back on. So, as always with handhelds this expensive, as soon as something like that happens, it's like soul-crushing. You're like, oh, no, I don't have $1,000 to replace this. What the hell? I can't afford to replace that. So, it always kind of gets you. But, hey, it turned on. It's working. So, and maybe later, once I get into the Diablo 4 season, I might do a little gameplay on here for you guys. Show off the Flip DS, some Diablo 4. Watch, I have like fucking guides down here on where I need to be, what class I'm building, and then I'll have Diablo 4 running up here, and you guys will be like, this motherfucker has the most awesome setup ever. And I'm like, I know, bitch, it's what I do. Anyway. Oh, let me plug this back in. And because of the DMG, when I have anything charging, after like 10 minutes I walk over and just like check. Because I'm scared of like overheating and cooking something. Alright guys, we're calling it there. Sorry. Whatever. I think I accidentally like twisted it or turned it. There, okay, it went straight. Anyway. So yeah. We're going to end it there. I got shit I got to do, right after I get done with these videos, why it's uploading. I am beginning my work day. So, yeah. Sorry about Monday. I got responsibilities. I got a few more testing days coming up with the kids in the next, I think, a couple weeks down. I got another one. So, if those weekdays come and go and you don't see a video from me, that is why. Anytime you don't see a video during Monday, the Monday through Friday work week, it's because something happened, something unexpected came up, or I had things I had to do as a father or husband, which family always takes priority. That beats out everything. So I won't ever put them on the back burner for anything else. So, although I do love you guys, you're not top priority. And yeah, rightfully so. You guys come and go. I go home at night, my family's always there. So yeah, hopefully today Classic shows up, or one of the other handhelds we got on the way shows up. If not, guys, we're just gonna keep going, this whole tariff shit, and maybe eventually I find something I give a shit about coming out, or something that excites me. The Flip DS was exciting. The DMG was an exciting release. The RP5 I was excited about. I think that was the last one, honestly. I don't know. I'm not easily bought. You know what I mean? These companies can't just keep regurgitating the same shit and expect me to get excited about it. So, I mean, I'd get more excitement out of taking that much money, throwing it in a fucking, a barrel and watching it burn, which I wouldn't do because I'm a broke motherfucker. But you get what I'm saying? It's whatever. I mean, it's neat. I don't mind this color. I'd never give you an extra $100 for it. You can kiss my ass. Not gonna happen ever. 10 years down the road, when someone sells that bitch for $100 on eBay or Mercari, then maybe I'll pick it up then. But no, kiss my ass, ayaneo. You should. I hope sales on shit like this hurt, because I know you just give these to like the big time YouTubers. Like, please show this off because this is the one we want to sell. But we're not going to talk about the plastics on this one. Alright guys, I'm going to get sidetracked like I always do at the end of my videos and start talking about something else. So, getting the hell off here. I'm going to start my work day. So yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Like I said, hopefully we have the classic. If we don't, we're just going to do something. Maybe I'll do some Diablo 4 gameplay. Maybe I'll sit here with a black screen and just talk shit the whole time. Maybe we'll discuss our favorite movies. You know what I'm talking about? Maybe we'll grab like a nice glass of wine and we'll get like a blanket and a pillow and we'll have some nice discussion about our love life. Nah, fuck all that noise. Alright guys, as always, this is the Retro Legion. I'll see you in the next episode.